Damn it.
Hello. So
The
you voted?
broadcast is live.
It's live.
It's
So you
live.
did you have to wait in line?
No, dude. I live in a mostly white area.
So plenty of polling stations.
Just walked in. It was
Made it easy for you.
me, my wife, and my oldest daughter. And we each went to a different person, got our little receipt, got our packet, voted, and left.
Wow.
So it took more time to fill out the form than it did to actually get it. So, yeah, it was like, I don't understand why it can't be like this in every neighborhood.
It doesn't make sense, does it?
No. It's so stupid.
Yeah, I don't understand it. We went, my wife and I went Friday, and we got there, and it was like, there was probably 400 people in line. We had about an hour and a half, but we were like, we're not going to make it. So I have to go back.
Yeah. Well, that happened with my wife and daughter. They went last week and went in. And I was like, you know what? Let's win with the Jags. As soon as they kick off, let's go vote.
Hey. Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting. This episode will probably come out after November 3rd, but we probably won't know who's going to win. So
no, not until December.
What? Yeah, is that what you go? That's what I'm going with. I don't think we're going to even know until like December.
I mean, it could be. So this is the crazy part. I was just talking with Nick at Promethean, who is a researcher, and we're playing around with some of the numbers that were coming in on this. Obviously we're talking about other stuff, but in the state of Florida, and if I get this wrong, hopefully somebody will notice. I think they said this was as of last week, like last Wednesday or Thursday. At that time, almost 50,000 people between the ages of 18 to 24 had early voted in 2016. In 2020, that number is over 250,000. 18 to 24 in the state of Florida. Now, most young people that I know.
Sounds like a mandate.
Darn, Yeah, the only thing that really bummed me out leaving, voting on, what was it, October 25th, I guess.
Yep.
But we really wanted to leave and go, I flushed the turd November 3rd. I was like so excited. And I flushed the turd October 20. This doesn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't rhyme.
This is nothing.
So we know who you voted for.
That thing shouldn't sit there.
No, it shouldn't. It's got to go. It's got to go. I don't know that.
Dude, got to go.
Got to go. I don't know that I would give a shit what people thought.
They'll play this video at our tribunal after he wins. Go ahead. Proof that we win against his royal Trumpiness.
His royal orangeness.
Oh, my God.
So how was last week? It was 2 weeks. We haven't talked in 2 weeks.
No, we haven't, dude.
I missed you.
Aw, miss you too. I got photos in a little shrine, but it's cool. Yeah, I don't really remember 2 weeks ago.
It's just like, it should be like a whole month ago.
Actually, I do remember Thursday and Friday. Okay, so like 2 Thursdays ago, I spent 6 or 7 hours just testing the crap out of different technology and different things.
I saw your setup. That looked pretty fancy.
I've actually now got better lighting now that the event's over. $60. Well, the thing is, if you've got glasses, you can't use a ring light.
Okay, I didn't know that.
It reflects in your glasses.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So it's like if I look up right now, you'll see the lights that I've got.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
See, so you need lights that are high enough. So anyway, I've now got 2 like regular photographer lights, and they were $65 for both.
This stuff is a lot cheaper now than it used to be, for sure. I remember we bought a bunch of equipment, man, like 7 or 8 years ago for Unmet Style stuff, and it was expensive. And now the same stuff's like, now it's like LED lights, and it's like runs on batteries, and it's like $50. Whereas, we spent like $800 on lights. Like, ugh.
But yeah, no. So that Thursday, I just I was testing all kinds of tech, and then Friday I was, and really I do remember that week now because we had 16 speakers coming in for Digital PM Summit, and I did the equivalent of office hours, but for tech checks.
I saw that.
If
Okay.
you want to come in and see something, come on in. I'll be here for this 3-hour block. I'll be here for this 2-hour block. And then Friday, well, I mean, I'm just sitting here doing my regular work, and then somebody shows up, and I'm like, hey, let's see how your stuff looks.
That's cool.
So as opposed to going, hello,
Yeah.
come test your crap with me, please.
Rob, you're muted. Yeah.
Yeah, Rob. But
it's okay. He's not watching.
It's so funny. People did all their tech checks, and then they used different audio setups. Like they used wired, earbuds when they were doing their test, and then they did AirPods when they showed up. Like, I mean, it's the same technology. That's why we pay 5,000 times more for the AirPods. They work worse. That actually don't work as well.
It's funny. I remember every time anybody ever showed up early and insisted on doing a tech check, they always messed up. It's all. I remember just being like, "Don't just let's flow. Go with the flow, man. Just plug in 5 minutes before. You're gonna be fine." They're like, "No, I must check." And then sure enough, the mic breaks or
like when I didn't check that one time and my whole laptop fried.
We had to flip.
We exported a PDF off onto somebody else's laptop.
Hey, we did that shit though.
No, you were awesome. You were awesome. I was a little punk, and you were amazing.
You were the shit.
I mean, I was ripped. I wasn't little. I was still a total punk.
Oh man.
So yeah, then that whole weekend was just testing the crap out of a few different technologies. We were using Zoom and Remo, and then
What's Remo?
Man, just getting ready. Remo is, you know what? As Sylvester famously said, Remo is off my list. Right? He said birds. Okay, and that was a horrible Sylvester because I'm missing a tooth right now, but I get my new one next week, so I'm feeling good. I know it's a big, exciting story about White Trash Carl missing a tooth.
Oh man.
So I know there are places in South Carolina I can go now. I couldn't go before. So what the hell was I talking about before I started?
I don't know, man.
Oh, Remo is they're super nice and they're really quick to give you your money back. But the idea is it's a 2D top-down view of a room that has tables and there's little areas where you put banners and stuff. And then people log in. We did a social with it. We did a breakout with it. We did all this stuff. And you can actually put little table cards. So you can say, at this table, we're going to talk about what are you binge watching. At this table, we're going to talk about web process. At this
Makes
table,
sense.
We're going to talk about I love dogs.
Right.
And I don't know which one to go to because I love them all.
Yeah.
But then when you log in, you can actually hover over somebody's avatar and it'll bring up their little bio. So you can see who somebody is and then decide if you want to double click and sit at that table and talk to those people.
That's cool.
And only 6, depending on the level you buy, like for the most part, 6 people can sit at a table.
Right.
If you're a host, you can join any table. They just put you kind of standing over somebody's shoulder kind of thing. And then it's videos like you would get in Zoom. The UI is not the most obvious. You kind of have to give people a little tutorial. But it's really cool. Except that it crashed when we were 200 people
fuck.
a breakout.
Yeah.
And it was just down. Because you know this, just like, well, maybe you never had this because you didn't really do hotels, but it's just like an in-person event. Luckily, we were smart. We were prepared for it. Lori Averett, who always goes to make sure that lunch is ready or always goes to make sure that the band is on stage or always goes ready to make whatever, she went over to make sure that Remo was ready. And she shot me a note. Hey, it's just spinning. It's just spinning.
Oh, right.
And so I said, all right, let me check. And so I went, shit, it's just spinning. So it was kind of funny. And I got it on video. I'll have to share it with you. So the speaker's wrapping up. Brett's the host. I'm kind of managing all the tech. I do have to say, if you ever have to manage a Zoom webinar with hundreds of people and lots of speakers, set up an old laptop as a confidence monitor for you. So you can see what attendees are saying. That was the best thing for me because normally I have to ask somebody to send me a screenshot or whatever.
Right.
You just, apply for your own event.
Yeah.
Use it on that old laptop.
Right.
And then you can be like, oh crap, can people hear me? And you can turn it up. Oh yeah, the music's playing. So that's kind of cool. So anyway, Brett is thanking that speaker and getting ready to tell everybody to head over to Remo. We've got cards that come up and we've got drop links in the chat and all this kind of stuff. And as he does that, I turned on my camera and I went, "Not so fast, my friend." And he was like, "What is going on?" I was like, "Remo is down. It is dead to us.
Remo done shit to bed.
We're going to take a 20-minute break. We're going to come back here and we're going to beg Dean to do his keynote an hour early."
Yeah, but that's, at least right? It's not like you're like, "Everybody meet me in Remo," and it's like, and then everybody's like gone for the day.
Because you have somebody go and check that shit out, right?
Yeah, smart.
So it's like the other thing was Adobe Max was the same day.
I noticed that. I wasn't going to say anything, but I noticed that.
Well, these are digital project managers.
Yeah, they're not going to watch.
They're not going to Adobe Max. That's not like
we can talk about that in a second. Keep going. I have a gripe. Go ahead.
Fuck you. I'm not going to go ahead.
Not with you.
Fucking gripe.
Okay, so Adobe Max.
Okay.
They had. Who the fuck did they have?
You had a gripe with me. Fuck you. I'm going to keep going, and then we'll come back. That was like $4 and $5, and I'm going to keep going. I'm dropping a lot of them today. So Adobe Max was evidently down too.
Oh, really?
I don't think it was really Remo's fault. But it didn't matter because I had 200 people I had to tell, but the social worked well and all the other things worked well. So people really liked it. They were bummed out they couldn't go back. And anyway, so you're great. You're great with Adobe Max.
Bro, I'm looking at Adobe Max, right? Because I got an email. I was like, "Oh, Carl's thing," and then I get it because I'm in your Slack and I saw that, and then I get an email for Adobe Max. They've got like Conan O'Brien, like he's just one of them, but like. The fuck does Conan O'Brien know about Adobe? What's he gonna do? Tell jokes?
Doesn't
I know,
matter.
but it drives me fucking bonkers. Like, there was another one I saw that was like a couple weeks ago, and they had like Barack Obama at it, and it's like, what? Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, but it's like, what the hell does she know about using social media? Like, I don't understand.
It was grassroots when they launched the first social media campaign for presidential election ever.
But she's not doing that.
I've read the book.
She's not doing that stuff. Conan O'Brien's not opening Photoshop.
You don't know shit.
I don't know. I mean, I always wanted like that outlier speaker too, but I always tried to have a bit of relevance,
Some little crossover, some shred of dignity. Not just saying who's the biggest name we can get.
It's like Conan O'Brien, Adobe. I've seen his face on a screen.
Like, why are you hating on Conan?
I like Conan.
He steal your woman?
I like Conan, all right.
Conan's fine. I'm a Seth Meyers guy lately, though. I love the stuff
he's awesome.
He's I always knew he was smart, but his delivery was always great. But now it's just like everything's coming together for him.
Spot on. Yeah. That's where I get my journalism from. Is from late night TV.
Well, they're the ones that are the most honest.
They're the ones actually doing journalism.
If you watch Saturday Night Live, oh my God, there was so much good stuff that's been coming out.
How about was it 2 weeks ago? Jack White was on there. Did you watch that one?
I did. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Sunday mornings for me are Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. No, I can't watch it when it's live.
I'm always watching college football, so it's like, by the time that happens, I'm done. But
Jim Carrey's amazing.
He's the best part about his Biden this time is he takes his mask off and he throws it up and goes.
He's crazy. He's great.
He messed up a couple of times, and he was killing himself. He was trying so hard not to laugh, but that's what we love is when they mess up.
Yeah.
But everything they did was great. They got Giuliani really good.
Oh yeah, I haven't actually seen it yet.
I haven't watched Borat 2. Whatever it's called, subsequent movie film. Borat, subsequent movie film.
Yeah, that Giuliani thing is interesting. Because I don't care what real excuse you have, like to find yourself in that situation,
in the room with the girl, dance. Come on,
like, bro.
Taking my mic off. I've worn a lot of mics. They were never anywhere near my crotch.
They're not in the front of my pants.
And then he said he was tucking his pants in or his shirt in.
Who does that laying on a bed?
I guess he does. Trump doesn't. He does it leaning forward.
That's a weird one.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How does he do that? It is
I
like,
had
it is
ready.
like Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like
That lean.
mhm.
Oh my God.
Like, hello.
But I really do want to see Tommy Lee Jones and what's that?
You ever seen how he shakes hands?
Yeah.
That's weird. It's almost as weird as how much he leans.
But I want to see Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith show up at the next rally and bust him as an alien. Because he just creeps me out, dude. It's like, again, at our tribunal, they'll be playing this.
Yeah. Well, maybe they will show up and just make me forget everything. That'd be awesome.
Oh my God, that would be just to forget.
Let's go back to like Clinton.
Yeah. And the people who are doubling down.
Well, that's what happens, man. I mean, you remember Gore versus Bush, right? How that went to like January or February or something. I mean, you remember how it was like people were just
hated the state of Florida more than normal, which was weird. I was in DC for Thanksgiving that year.
You hanging Chad, you.
And I was just like, hey, everybody, how's it going? Blah, blah. Hey, Carl, tell them where you're from.
Florida. I don't want to say.
Do we have to? Yeah.
All right. So you overcame some.
Yeah. Everybody.
What's it called?
Remo.
Remo. Yeah.
And I got to say again, they were super nice. It is a browser-based piece of software.
I mean, yeah.
So you have to know.
Yeah.
This is not a downloadable app. There's going to be issues. And the thing they had bandwidth issues.
Yeah. Like
whatever happened, maybe they're in the same room as Adobe Max. Maybe they went to Adobe Max. I don't know. But then we had lightning talks. We had interactive sessions where this was the thing to me. It was like, you can't, and I get it a little bit. I researched a little bit, like Zoom meeting and Zoom webinar, right? Like you pretty much have to decide, are you going webinar or are you going meeting, right?
Yeah.
If you go meeting, everybody's camera is engaged, even if it's not turned on. So if you have 200 people, they can all turn on their camera.
Yeah.
That's rough, right?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Webinar, they can't turn on their camera no matter what. So it's obviously something in the bandwidth needs and all that kind of stuff, because if you get 5,000 people in a webinar, they can't have all those video feeds going.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, that was why we decided on Remo, because otherwise you have to leave Zoom to come into Zoom, and the whole thing just feels confusing and weird, and everybody's got to have multiple personal links.
Yes,
too much. Like, this link will get you into every webinar, but this link gets you into this breakout, and this link gets you into this breakout, and this link gets you into this breakout. It's just people are going to be confused as hell.
Yeah.
So we decided, you know what, we're going to do the interactive sessions in Zoom webinar too, and the speakers crushed it, man. They one person and I managed all dropping links in for them and polls and all that kind of stuff, but one person had a Typeform poll that actually like played a game and did some stuff, which was really cool. And so everybody could watch it as it was going on. Somebody else had downloadable PDFs for people to follow along and do stuff. I'm trying to think what else was going on. There were a lot of usage of polls, but more as quizzes, not just, so just doing fun stuff like that. But the big thing was, and we did this with Beyond Diversity and Inclusion. We did it with Design Leadership Days, and we did it here. I think we've gotten better at it. It's right at the beginning. I give a pep talk to everybody who's there. And I just say, hey, look, all of these speakers, 16 speakers, have put in a lot of work to present to their laptop.
You're right.
But they're not presenting to the laptop. They're presenting to you, and they need to know that. They need to know you're there. So in the chat, when something is funny, type haha.
Right.
It may seem lame, but it's so important. When something makes you think, go, right? Like drop in emojis if you can, do whatever, but keep the chat flowing, because the one thing that speaker has, the lifeline to energy they have, is seeing that thing go through. Just seeing it flow.
Interaction.
Do that for them so they know. And then for the speakers, I told them, ask questions to the chat. Like if you see one, say, oh, Chad, that's a great question, man. Do that. Make sure they're feeling engaged and other people want to feel pulled in. We also did slideshows. Like I had the speakers each send 3 fun photos, like things that had nothing to do with work. And also their 3 favorite songs.
Okay, that's cool.
Songs to get them the most pumped up. So the playlist is the speaker songs. The slides are, along with thanking sponsors and that sort of stuff.
Mhm.
Their photos of people. And then we asked the attendees to send in their photos.
Oh, cool.
On day 2, it's speakers and attendees, and then more attendees. So anything you can do to get people, first of all, to see themselves,
Right.
to do all that kind of stuff. We had so many people. I can't remember what it was, but of the nearly 200 people we had at the event, I think we had like 80 that downloaded the playlist or joined the playlist or whatever. So you start to look at stuff like that and you're like, this shit matters. Like somebody said to me, they shot me an email. I've never been to the in-person event, but I can't even imagine, because this was so amazing to me. It's like I didn't feel like I was sitting in front of Zoom. I felt like I was laughing with friends on a call.
That's awesome. So you're using this opportunity, I mean, to hit a home run with it, but also it's a sales tool to, like, when we're able to have in-person events, like, they're not going to want to miss it.
No. And also, the most important thing about that whole deal is I just splashed water on my glasses.
What?
Look at these eyes, man. These eyes
Oh, man.
These are tired eyes.
You going to get a break?
No. I mean, it's different, but we're breaking even. We're making a little bit of money. It's totally different because it's a small team. It's not who we were, and I got to start working on 2021. Like we've got 3 camps between now and the end of the year. We got a few workshops. We've got a few webinars. We got a lot of just regular peer review calls, bureau sessions.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't have next year ready, if I don't have first quarter ready, like in 2 weeks,
right?
It's not that people don't want to support us. If we can't give them something to say yes to,
right? What are they going to buy?
So yeah, so that's what happens next. But you know what? I don't mind it. It's because it's super chill.
Yeah.
I miss planes. I miss hotels. I mean, I love that shit, man.
Yeah.
I love finding the best burger in a new town because it comes with a great beer. It's like almost always. That's
been like what, 12, 13 years of your life. The past decade, easily.
Easily, yeah. No, I mean, figure this is 8 years.
I mean, we've been at this for 10 years or so. Just events and eventing.
I mean, for like a decade.
Crazy, right?
I easily traveled once or twice a month.
Mm-hmm.
The only breaks coming over the summer. I would have like 1 month out of the summer where I didn't travel, and then I would have like 3 weeks between mid-December and the end of the year.
Yeah.
But
now 0 for 8 months.
Yeah. I thought I was going to miss my Delta miles. It turns out Delta misses everything.
Yes. Yeah, no shit.
Oh my God, I'm gonna get a booty call from Delta. Like
you will.
At 3 a.m.
I'll be like, you want to jump on a plane?
What are you doing? Can you come over?
Yeah.
Over where? Honolulu is really nice right now. No, Delta, stop calling me. Are you drunk?
Yes, they are.
Yeah. So, confused people who now think that we have an Australian Shepherd because I took a photo of somebody else's.
I saw that.
I didn't mean to confuse anybody. We got 2 dogs. We're good.
It's a pretty dog.
Now wants a black lab.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, retriever is in the black lab name, but there's only one retriever, and that's the golden retriever. Like everybody knows that. The Labrador retriever. Look how long it took to get there. It's like an extra syllable or 2.
Labrador. Labradoodle.
Golden. What is that nonsense? It's gone wrong.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
How's your gator buddy?
Allie's good, man. He I don't know what's going on. I was talking with the mailman's name is Bruce, and we know each other because we both go over to Jack's Craft. So Kaylee dropped me off because she's 19, she needs a car, and I'm 53 and I don't. She drops me off, and Bruce is like, have you seen the gator? And I'm like, yeah, man, been here for like almost 4 months now. And we go over and look, and Allie, there's like this not really I guess it's a limb from a tree. It's not huge, but Allie's got his 2 front legs just kind of resting on it and just kind of looking up at us. I was like, what's up?
It's like, drop some food at me, man.
What are you doing?
Bring me a chicken.
He's dreaming.
Yeah.
He's dreaming of days ahead. I'm gonna eat those two.
I'm gonna try.
Get the hell out of it. Yeah, but doing good. Nobody's called animal control or anything. I'm real careful now not to post anything not locations or whatever.
Yeah.
Probably coming close to 3 feet now.
I was about to say he looks like he's 3 or 4 feet.
Nah, maybe 3.
Well, give him time. He'll scare the shit out of everybody.
Yeah. He's hanging out with these turtles, and I don't think they know the drill.
No.
Because they're like, I feel bad for him. He lost his shell. Don't feel bad for him. Just like me, he's sizing you up.
Yeah,
the frogs are gone. Does everybody hear me? The frogs are gone. Okay. He's got to move on to something else.
Yeah. Turtles are next. They can eat turtles. I've seen that.
Mm-hmm. It's tough, but there are 2 really big Florida softshell turtles in there.
Give him time.
One adolescent softshell turtle.
Give him time.
I know. You like the taste of leather? I think that's what you're going to get if you bite into one of those turtles.
Potentially.
Yeah.
All right. What else?
What's going on in SoCal?
SoCal?
SoCal, no.
I don't fucking know.
Nothing?
Well, we have some homeless dudes I have to run off every other day that sit outside. That's been pretty cool.
Yeah. How are Jay and Gio?
I don't know.
Funny because
it's true. Yeah, it seems like it. No. SoCo's all right. We're actually doing pretty well.
Okay.
For some reason, I don't know why. Probably because I don't run that anymore. So that's probably why it's doing well.
That's always the hardest thing to learn.
That's number one. You're not good at it.
A business you start does much better without you.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing when you have the ability to live in it.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt, does it, Gene?
No, not at all.
No, you're cool with it.
Yeah. Yeah, we had yeah, this is going all right.
And the gym?
Yeah, gym's okay. I kind of had a little heartbreak. One of the people that I've coached pretty closely for about 3 years is moving and leaving.
Oh, thank God. I thought they died.
Yeah. No.
I told you to spot them. Damn it. 6 feet away from you, okay?
Yeah. So, that was not fun, but we're over that.
Okay. So I think since we talked, I watched One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with my oldest daughter, with Kaylee. She had to watch it for school because she's taking some film classes.
Okay.
And man, I forgot how amazing that movie is.
I have not watched that movie in a long, long time.
What's the one thing you remember from that film?
I believe it's the chief ripping the. Doesn't he rip up like a water fountain or some shit?
Yeah, like at the end. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. That's obviously.
Yeah. No, for me, it was the chief when Jack's character hands him the stick of juicy fruit gum. I remember Chief is supposed to be deaf and dumb, right? And he goes, "Thank you."
Yeah.
Jack goes, "You wily son of a bitch!" And he like goes off on him, and then Jack just keeps handing him another piece of gum to see if he'll say thank you again.
Yep.
Which is crack.
Yeah. Who directed that?
What's that?
Who directed that movie? Do you remember?
I don't remember. Look it up real quick. But Danny DeVito's in it. Christopher Lloyd's in it.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd. I remember him.
Jack's in it. Yeah, it was so good. I want to watch Cool Hand Luke with her now. Like that movie to me was another one in that time period. Like how you realize how ridiculous, not ridiculous, but how lame the reason is he gets arrested in the first place. He's just walking down the street, hitting the heads off of parking meters with a baseball bat.
Yep.
He ends up in jail and doesn't care. And that's the way he wants it. Well, he gets it.
Yeah, that was going
any more than you do.
Surprisingly, it's directed by Milo Forman.
Well, there you go.
I don't fucking know. Michael Douglas was a producer.
I did know that.
Did not know that.
Because I remember, I think Danny DeVito was talking about this, that he was doing some sort of Shakespeare in the Park in New York. And Michael Douglas was part of the production, And that's how he ended up on One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which was his first movie at all. Like that was Danny DeVito's first break.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and in that movie, he's just this kind of goofy little.
There's not much in there. Yeah. My favorite meme is that. So anyway, I started blasting, like Danny DeVito meme. Like that's my favorite one.
That's awesome. Oh man.
So anyway, I started blasting. It's perfect.
Yeah. That is totally perfect. So, trying to think what else with Digital PM Summit that would be like a good thing for people doing events to take away.
Yeah, you laid on some really good tips on how to manage a digital meeting or digital group there. That was impressive.
We had a call Friday. This is a good one. Well, it'll probably this might come out before holiday parties.
Yeah, it will.
A remote holiday party brainstorming session with the Bureau.
I saw that in Slack and I missed that. But
40 people show up, man.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It amazes me. Like they do that here at SoCo all the time. It's like just a happy hour, like once a week. And there's like 10 or 15 people that show up for that.
Yeah.
So weird.
Are you at those?
No.
Oh, okay. Then I'm surprised. I think there'd be a lot more people showing up.
Because I'm not there. Yeah, nice.
No. Well, if you're not there, you can't say anything. But yeah, there were some great tips on that. Did you know that there are virtual escape rooms that you do through Zoom now?
It doesn't surprise me.
You hire a company that manages the whole thing.
Right.
There's also different ways it's not Werewolf, but it's a similar sounding game where you go into breakout rooms and somebody finds out that they are like the bad person. And then you come back into the main room. Right. And then the host, I can't remember how it works. The host somehow doesn't turn people's cameras off, but whatever. But so that was kind of interesting. There are people this is a good one, right? There are people who are hiring professional chefs who are out of work to teach cooking classes. So basically they're sending boxes of all the ingredients and stuff that people on the team need. They take their laptop into the kitchen and then they've got this, really good chef teaching them how to create this dish for the holidays.
I'm surprised that hasn't been done before.
That is going on right now. Oh, but you mean before COVID?
Yeah, like just a business.
Right? I mean,
because those businesses where you go and you the chef in the room, whatever, that's been around forever.
So imagine that you're doing that with employees, with clients, with whatever.
Right.
That's really cool.
That's a cool idea.
He also was doing it with a mixologist and that sort of thing. You can't ship booze quite as easily. And you have to be really careful.
Yeah.
I mean, some people that are going to have, either physical or addiction issues or whatever.
Right. Yeah. That's the same with any office party.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly. So there were so many good things.
Those are clever.
I'm going to post that video in the Bureau Slack this afternoon. So you'll be able to follow it, watch it.
Very cool. I want to check that out or send it here to these folks.
Yeah, and it was good. That's my favorite, I think, with the Bureau right now is I'll see people having a conversation. I'm just like, do you want me to spin up a room for this? Like we'll get together in a week or so. And then a lot of people will be like, yeah, I want to go. And then you got people that go, I really want to go, but I can't be there. Can I please get the video? And it's almost more than doing a webinar because it's like, first of all, there's nobody you have to worry about being there or not being there, right?
Right.
But the value is what I meant. So people are like, yeah, this is a problem I have. It's a conversation I want to have. And I think I'm going to start these. I put them on the calendar, but I can't figure out what they are. But these like just Friday sessions. And it's not happy hours. It's not this or that. It's just like it's a hot topic session, right? Mm-hmm. So
that's cool. I mean, that's like a one big, long, ongoing event.
Yeah. I mean,
Bureau,
that's membership, right? I mean, that's just being a part of something and it's going to keep going. So that's kind of cool.
That's cool.
Is this an infomercial? Did I turn into an infomercial?
No. It's it's good to hear about your business, man. I mean, my businesses right now are just very simple. It's not a lot of new discovery going on. It's like I build websites or like people buy shit and they leave. I mean, like the brick and mortar business is, I mean, while it's not, I don't want to downplay it. It's not simple. It requires a lot of work.
Yeah.
it's not as complex as figuring out how to, talk to people all over the place or get them to remain interested.
So this is going to be this. I was having this conversation a couple of days ago. I can't remember who I was talking to, but so you start looking at. I mean, this gets to your point of Conan O'Brien, right? Or oh God, how am I blocking on? Who's the actor that plays Deadpool? Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, he was on some. Yeah,
he was on Brand Week.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and I was saying, it's like, so let's say with Owner Summit, if we charge $500 for a ticket, which actually, if you're paying speakers and you put so much time into it, that's really not that much.
No.
For the people that are putting it on, right? But then you're competing with, say, an Adobe Max, which is free and has these heavy hitters, or with a Brand Week, which is the same ticket price, but you get Ryan Reynolds talking about branding.
Mm-hmm.
And you can say, what does Ryan Reynolds know about branding? Actually, he's a pretty smart marketer, man.
He probably does, yeah.
So then you're like, okay, well, not even looking at the timing of it, just when do people want to spend their money, right? Because it's no longer about when can I afford to leave the office for 4 days, right? Now it's about when, what do I want to do?
Fair enough.
Afternoon or 3 afternoons or whatever. So, and this was something David Baker had said to me was, you could have any speakers you wanted for this. When we were at Owner Summit in New Orleans, he basically said, who do you want? You can get them. And I said, yeah, but I can't afford them. He goes, once you get them, you can afford them. Thinking that it would sell tickets, that it would do that stuff. And I was just like, that's a chicken and egg. I can't risk that. But now you look at it and you go, okay, well, then the other thing for me was almost every speaker that's ever come to an Owner Summit was either part of or respected by the community.
Mm-hmm.
Like David and Blair were there to do the Two Bobs podcast live because Blair had been at Owner Summit before, because at Owner Camps, people had talked about Blair's book, the one without pitching manifesto.
Right.
And then because Blair and David were together and the community said their favorite podcast was the Two Bobs. It's just like listening to the community versus trying to guide the community to something that they guide me to something. And now that gets tougher because they haven't been out seeing things. They don't know, I mean, maybe they do. I haven't really checked in on that level, but just this idea that I want it to stay about the community. I don't want it to become about the name.
Right.
I want it to be the content, just like that holiday party thing.
Right.
I didn't expect 40 people to show up to that.
That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, that's a tricky one. I always struggle with that too, which is like, it's just kind of risk. Like, how much risk are you going to take? Yeah. And that's the thing. Something like an Adobe Max or whatever, that's not really a risk for them.
No, they're taking their marketing budget and they're shifting it.
Yeah, it's not. Right? It's not the same thing. It's not the same. It's not the same boat at all. Yeah. They don't have to make money off of Adobe Max.
No, they totally don't. And I mean, I think that's exactly where it ends up. And if you look at it like any of them, and I respect them for it. Like they should spin up their own stuff.
Right. Well, I mean, Adobe's been doing that for years.
Yeah, they've been doing Adobe Max for years, sure. But I mean, like if you look at, and MailChimp's a trusted part of the Bureau community. They did their own event this year. I think that's great. They're still supporting us. They're still supporting others. Right. But they did their own event. And you know what? It was great. But it also was just like you and me right here. It's like there's only so many ways you can spin these things around. Right. What it really boils down to, and this is where I think if you look at some of these bigger events that other companies are throwing together, there's not really any heart or soul in it.
Yeah.
It's just looking at something you could watch on TV. And I think this is where it really boils down for me. I want to create things from virtual out. I don't want to create them from in person down. Right. It's like, I appreciate, and when we first started, I was doing it too. This idea that we need to try to recreate the in-person experience.
Well, you have to move fast at first too.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to do what you got to do quickly.
Well, no, that's true. But still the like what your vision is for something. I think it needs to be, I mean, not unlike you and me talking right here. It needs to be two people who like each other but disagree on enough stuff or poke fun at each other or whatever.
Right,
There's got to be
right,
some humanity. There's got to be some heart. There's got to be some love. There's got to be real content that people want,
hmm
but presented in an unexpected manner.
I
Like,
agree with that.
I mean, I think that's what it comes down to. Almost like, whoa, this is so smart. I wonder what's going to happen next. Because like
Yeah, not
even
gonna.
when we were doing DPM Summit, there were a couple of times Brett was getting ready to go, and the music was a song that I liked, and I would just turn on my camera and be dancing, and then like turn it off. Right? It was just like totally. And Brett would be like,
Yeah, but that's. I mean, you're the heart and soul of that stuff, man. I mean, that's
"Damn straight,
you're part of the brand. I mean, that's how it works.
I am the brand."
Well, yeah,
No,
to a certain degree. To a certain degree. So that's interesting, though. I mean, how do you? I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna be.
are you going to be frank?
You're not necessarily there yet. I don't know, but how do you manage that? Like people coming to see you versus the production of the event itself. I mean, have you run into that? Do you feel that?
No, not really.
No?
I honestly, especially with DPMs, I don't think anybody knew who I was.
Okay.
I mean, they do now, and they won't stop calling, and I appreciate it. I do. This is what happens. No, I really don't think so.
Okay.
Like I would have moments, and this is really weird to talk about. It sounds egotistical, but to you too, friend.
So,
Like I would be at events sometimes, and people would talk about things they read that I wrote
mhm.
a decade ago, or that they really followed the path of engine and all that kind of stuff, or bizcraft, man.
Well, you put a lot of effort into that. You put a lot of effort into the
It didn't
community,
feel like it.
being part of it and giving to the community.
It didn't feel like it, I mean, that was just what we did.
hmm
It was just, and it's not different with the Bureau, but to that point, no. I mean, it's people are here to find the other people,
Mm.
and I'm one of them. I'm one of the other people, but yeah, it's not about me. I mean, I wish it was. That'd be really cool. What's funny is, so my youngest daughter, the one who's doing so good on TikTok, we're talking right now about what she's going to do because she's done with high school.
hmm
So now it's, do you get a job or do you start your own thing? And she's on, I want to start my own thing. And I was
Okay.
like, good,
Okay.
because that was the mistake I made, and I don't want to be the only one. No, it's because there's no argument, especially now, for not starting your own company.
Sure.
I mean, especially pandemic aside, college is so rough.
Yeah.
And if you've got something like she does with almost 650,000 followers now,
That's crazy. You can build on that.
you can, and you can do it in an authentic way that's not just going to try to leverage your popularity or whatever.
Right.
So I'm excited. We're going to work on that together. I mean, she'll work on it and she'll ask me to help with whatever. So
Right. That's awesome.
yeah, so that'll be fun.
Hmm.
That'll be fun.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess your daughter's 17.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact age. Yeah, my son's 17. He's senior this year, trying to figure out what the hell he's going to do. And
Or he's going to stay away from my daughter. I can tell you that shit.
not very close. Yeah, it's funny. I'm the one that's kind of like, check other shit out before you just think about school.
Well, yeah, and you got to be careful because it depends on how your spouse feels, right?
Well, she's very much go to school.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree at all. Like, it's cool. Like, I value
it
my
makes sense, and it's what you want to do.
Yeah.
But
I value my education. But
this is an interesting thing, especially for shops that are in higher ed right now. So I had dinner with a friend whose company is like way into higher ed, and he shared something with me that I thought was really interesting. He said, "We're doing okay now, in terms of higher ed. Everybody's trying to spin up their online experience, all that kind of stuff." He goes, "But 2021 is a big question mark, because now if Harvard decides to lower their tuition a little bit, and they start dipping into where some of the high-end public schools are trying to go,
right.
Suddenly and even take it all the way out to Oxford or whatever, you're suddenly in more of a global marketplace where before was about the visit to the campus. Now it's about the reputation and the quality of the education, which it was before as well. But the geography of it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, every university's sticking to its guns that the tuition's not changing. But the first one that really hurts,
They're going to drop it.
Have to do something.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. And, it doesn't make sense in some cases that like here at the University of South Carolina, like they started the semester off, full price, everything. And then like 2 weeks in, they were like, well, we might be going virtual. It's like, well, you're going to give me some money back? Because your virtual school doesn't cost as much.
Nope.
And it's like, what exactly am I buying? I think they're gonna have to figure that shit out, overcome that.
All of them will. I mean, and that's the thing. Is like, so the difference. So Kaylee's going to, I call it the studio school. I think they changed their name recently, out in LA. And the difference between in person and remote was $1,200 a semester. That was all.
That's not much. That's
not much. And what's interesting to me was I remember, and you probably, it was the same when you went. 15 hours was a full load.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to get special permission to take more than 15 hours at UF.
Yep.
You had to have a certain grade point average for a certain amount of time and some other stuff, right?
That's right.
Now some of this is dance classes, but she's taking 22 hours.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Right.
Which still, if you think about it, I mean, 40 hours work week or whatever, but still that's a lot, right?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Part of that is the shortened time frame.
Probably. Yeah. And on the flip side of it, like, I'm watching them now in public school and, they get their work done in like 2 or 3 hours.
Oh yeah. Cause they don't have all the distractions.
It's like, well, what the hell you got to go for 8 hours a day for? You're getting this shit done in like 2 or 3 hours.
I'm sure you remember this. I think I bitched about it at least 3 times. But it was that idea, especially when they started shifting it. I don't know if the public school systems everywhere did the same thing where there were A days and B days.
Mm-hmm. That's what they're doing here.
Okay, so just imagine that every day you have 6 50-minute meetings with a 10-minute break in between and 30 minutes for lunch. Oh my God. Next day, it's the same thing, but totally different content. And the other day, you go back to the day from 2 days ago.
No, thank you. Holy
all those meetings. When would you ever get anything done? But now, it's whenever you want. Just open the one you want, do the one you want, get that one done, do the next one. So it's like it shows that if you work on one thing, when you're in the right mindset for it, you get it done.
Yeah, fast.
Like work of school is going to be done in like 6 months, 7 months.
I know, it's crazy.
Man.
Well, I mean, there's something to be said about that.
What's going on with Warrior Mindset?
I
was looking at your face, not your logo.
Oh. What do you mean? What's going on with it?
Well, I mean, that's your other podcast, right?
Yeah.
How's it going? I mean,
it's going well.
When people say what's going on with it, what they generally mean is give me an update.
Gotcha. For some reason, and I can't figure out why, maybe it's the type of show I'm doing. I changed up the type of show. Like at first it was just like very not produced because I don't produce shit, but like it was like one subject or one interview, whatever. And they were okay, but I've started doing I call it a debrief. So like it's based on this idea that I read about where we waste so much time on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, and what we need to do is make purposeful use of social media. So I will go, like my favorite one is Instagram. I like Instagram the most. So I will spend 30 minutes. I'll set a timer on Instagram and I will go through it looking for things that I can like apply to my life. Right. I'll try to get something out of it.
Okay.
And I've been doing that for a couple of weeks and I've been finding like really good stuff. So I'll just go through about 5 or 6 of those things that I find in an episode. And since I've been doing that for about 4 weeks, like it's tripled like the amount of people that like the number literally times 3. And it's really, it's like, maybe I should just do this. So So I'm going to keep doing that until people stop watching it, and then I'll do something else.
My favorite, I'm going to get a t-shirt that says it tripled, like the number times 3.
Well,
I
let's
just
put it.
think that is what people need. Because this is
I
an
don't know.
educational show.
Do what?
It's an educational show.
In theory.
We're teaching people.
In
And
theory.
there will be theory. Theory.
It's one of them.
Did you watch the Tom Petty 70th birthday bash?
I haven't seen it yet.
You need to watch. It's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I spent my time listening to the box set, which is on Spotify, by the way.
Yeah.
If you pay for Spotify, you can get it.
But here's the thing that was there are a couple of favorites for me, but I think I've forgotten all the names. Adam Sandler, him doing "You're So Bad."
What?
Amazing. Yeah, he came on. Well, you see him do opera, man. You see him do his Farley song, that sort of stuff. The guy plays guitar, whatever. I mean, it's not like Tom's. You're not playing the Mike Campbell part. You're just
right.
playing.
Right. You just.
But he did "You're So Bad," and he said, "Yeah, my youngest daughter is learning guitar, and this is the song we're learning."
That's a good one.
Just like, when I first met Tom, he was just so nice and so gracious. And every time I ever saw him, he was just such a wonderful human. And I found myself not speaking because I was just in that presence of someone who was so giving. And then he did the song, and it was just phenomenal. Lenny Kravitz came on.
Wow.
And he didn't sing a song, but he said that the story he told was that Tom Petty gave him his break. That the first tour he ever went on, he opened for the Heartbreakers.
Oh, wow.
And that he said while they were on the road, Tom would take him shopping. When Tom would go guitar shopping, he would take Lenny with him. And he said, to this day, I can't shake my addiction to buying guitars. He goes, Tom Petty did that to me. He showed me so much about how every guitar is made and what's special about it and all this type of stuff.
That's awesome.
And you just think about it. And then I'll quit here so I don't ruin the whole thing for you. But
no, it's
Stevie Nicks came on. Now she did. They showed her doing "I Need to Know" and a couple of, and obviously "Stop Dragging My Heart Around." Actually, it was a different band that did that, but they showed clips of that video. But she always wanted to be a heartbreaker, and Tom was like, heartbreakers. There's no women in the heartbreakers.
Right.
Blah. Well, evidently, one year for her birthday, he gave her this sheriff's badge, right? And it was like a really nice official kind of badge that had the Heartbreakers logo on the front, and on the back it said "Honorary Heartbreaker." And so whenever she would call Tom's people, or she would want to show up when they were on stage or be a part of what they were doing, Tom would say, "I don't know, she's got a badge." And so that was kind of like the running joke. I just miss,
I wonder how many people had those.
Real guy,
it's like, Dylan had one of those.
Maybe, I don't know. Dave Stewart. Who else was? I mean, it's 2.5 hours of amazing musicians.
Wow, I need to check that out.
Susanna Hoffs from the Bangles.
Right. Wow.
It's like everybody doing their tributes, and you just don't even realize the different number of people that he reached.
Oh, I mean, dude, how 40 years, 50 years he's in the business, like as legit rock and roll star. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's crazy. He's my all-time favorite. Yeah, we've talked about this before. I know you have a couple of artists that you kind of feel. I'll be honest, I really could give a shit about anybody, but him. When I think about him, I just get like bummed out.
Well, when he was saying, what I consider success is that there's songs I recorded in the 70s that you still hear people playing today.
Holy crap.
We didn't say what he considered success. He said what he considers a successful song.
Right.
But this was something I learned, and this is probably a good little thing to close it on, but American Girl, right? Mm-hmm. First of all, never charted in the States.
True. Right.
Never charted. It charted in the UK. But I went to UF. And the folklore, the mythology was always that it was about a song about a girl who jumped off Beatty Towers and killed herself, right? And Beatty Towers, they took the balconies off that side that looked out over 441, right? The cars on 441 like waves crashing on the beach, right? Mm-hmm. Well, it turns out, and this was something Mike Campbell said, that the song's not about suicide. if you look at the line, it says, and if she had to die trying, she was going to keep.
Mm.
But the break is, and if she had to die trying to keep, right? So it's like, but that wasn't what it was about. And then there's people who said it's actually autobiographical. It was a great big world out there, right? Like you start looking at it, this was all stuff Tom was thinking. And then he actually said he wrote it in Encino, California.
Well, yeah.
Staying at some hotel. And he was on the balcony and he heard the cars driving by. And actually that part of the song is where the whole song came from.
Wow.
She could hear the cars rolling by like waves crashing on the beach, right? Like that's where the whole thing came from.
I will tell you though, he could be anywhere on the planet. His heart was still in the South. It was still in Florida.
I'm glad they released that Gainesville song.
Yeah.
I know it's not necessarily the strongest song, but it was fun.
Well, I mean, there's a reason why a lot of those aren't on the actual album.
Yeah.
Know? But I want them.
Well, you need to watch.
Yeah, check it out.
You need to watch it because he talks a lot about Wildflowers. Like Wildflowers was his.
That's my all-time favorite album.
Best time. It's so good.
Yeah, and he's right. I mean, they did. I mean, obviously because of the whole thing, but they did like 2 albums worth of stuff. You know, that's why it's so good. I mean,
they were going to release it that way.
And I haven't heard that.
But he even said it was the first time they didn't have a concept. They were just going to go in and do the best stuff they could do and have as much fun as they could have and make sure that all of that just came out.
Well, it did.
Yeah, it totally did, man.
And you worked with Rick Rubin for like what, 4 albums?
Yeah, I think so.
As time goes on, I don't know if you spent much time on Echo. I more and more fall in love with Echo, that album. That's a really good album.
It really is a good album.
I think it's his last one with Rubin, but it's really good.
Yeah, Hypnotic Eye.
I wasn't as big a fan of that one, but it's also pretty decent.
I know the story behind it now, and so I go back and listen to it. So that was all during his divorce.
Got you.
That's like there's a lot of anger and pain in that.
Yeah, there is. Yeah,
which is why it doesn't resonate with some of us who know Tom as the breakup songs and all that kind of stuff, but kind of from a fun place. Whereas that is like
little Tom Petty trivia. You probably remember. You remember the was it the Larry Sanders Show?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Larry Sanders' neighbor.
I did not know that.
And he was literally. Was it Larry Sanders? Was he the guy in the show? Was it like a
Gary
neighbor?
Shandling.
Yeah, Gary Shandling, but it was the Larry Sanders, whatever. But like he was literally Gary Shandling's neighbor.
So in the show.
Yeah, anybody was in the show, and he would just come over and be like, well, "I'm just here to like, chop some bushes or whatever." And you're like, "What the fuck is going on?" It's Tom Petty.
They talk. So Dave Stewart from the Eurythmics and who produced the Full Moon Fever album, he bought a house next door to Tom, just so he could, when he wanted to, he could like go hang out.
I would too.
And they said, well, yeah, if I had the money, I would totally do it. But he said that it was so funny because he would go, like he said in the UK, it's totally different than in the States. Like he would go and climb over Tom's fence and go into the house.
What?
And be having breakfast with one of Tom's daughters who were little, right, at the time. And then Tom would call him and say, hey, why don't you come over for breakfast? And he'd be like, I'm already here.
That's common in the UK?
Did you climb over somebody's fence? I
No.
will say this. My family members from the UK will show up unannounced sometimes. Now, I'll know they're in the States, but they'll just be like, I'll be in the backyard having a cup of coffee, getting ready for the day, whatever it's going to be. And then they just walk in the backyard.
Well, maybe that's...
And I'm like, what?
Maybe
He climbed over the fence. And there's got to be security and crap, right?
I would have climbed over Tom Petty's fence too.
Yeah. But then
I don't
he's like,
think he would let me in the house.
I'm eating Rice Krispies with Adrian. What's going on?
What the fuck? Get out of my house. But you're inviting me over. Yeah, but this is weird now.
So weird. Oh, man. So what's next for you? What do you got this week, Gene?
We are doing a 100 kata challenge this weekend. So we're all me and my students and some friends, we're all going to get together and do a kata, which is a martial arts demonstration thing, 100 times in a row.
Coffee, and I thought that felt like way too much. But okay.
Are you backing up?
I am.
So we're doing that. So there's a little prep. That'll be fun.
It's as far as I can go.
And so last weekend before last, I took a couple of students up to the mountains in North Carolina, and they walked on fire.
Wow.
Yeah, we should
do that.
Do what?
Did they know they were going to do that?
Oh no. No.
You covered it under a thin layer of leaves and say, "Hey, come here."
I just said, "Hey, get in the car." Get in the car. So one of my it wasn't a New Year's resolution. It was like a thing I decided one day. But I saw a meme that said everybody needs a friend who says, "Get in the car, fucker. We're going on an adventure."
Yeah. And
I want to be that friend.
To me?
Yes. I've decided I want to be that friend. Cool. So I want to be that person that's like, so if I see you, like, you need this in your life, we're going to go do it.
I like it.
Yeah. And that's that's one of my purposes that I've kind of uncovered. And that was one of them, was get in the car. We're going to go do some fun shit. And they were like, what are we going to do? I was like, you'll find out. Just bring your shit with you.
You tell them to bring toiletries?
No. So they knew we weren't staying over the night.
And if you need any kind of special tissue.
Well, we got there and they were like, here's a samurai sword. And they were like, what the hell is this for? We're like, you'll see. Just come over here. Yeah, it was really fun. Really fun.
All right, brother.
Yes, man.
Well, we'll do this again in a week.
And like Tom Petty said, most things in life I worry about never happen anyway.
That's right. That is what he said. And you know what else he said? I don't know. He said, you know what he said, Gene? He said, thanks, Carl.
Did he?
I held the door open for him.
Oh, did you? You know, I would have bought that.
I'll have a Tom Petty quote next time. I just didn't want to upstage you.
He said, hey, Spike, what do you like?
Mm-hmm. I said, hey, Spike, what do you like?
It's another weird song.
Tell me about life.
All right, man.
All right, brother.
Bye-bye.
Bye.